Hi lovelies, and welcome to the Witch's Cookery. December has rolled around, the end of the year is near, and many are getting in the holiday spirit. And no matter what you are celebrating during the season, Christmas or Yule, the winter solstice or Hanukkah, Soyal or Shabbal Yolda, they all carry a similar message and symbolism that predates the world religions and finds its meaning and importance in seasonal life cycles and nature-based beliefs of old. In today's video, I want to share some of the ancient symbolism and pagan meanings of this time of year with you and inspire you with some magical and meaningful DIY decor ideas to make your home cozy and festive for whatever holiday you will be celebrating. The daytime hours are few, snow is covering the floor like a soft blanket and cold winds howl around the chimney. It's not surprising that we try to make our sheltering homes more inviting and cheery so we can hibernate and retreat from the world outside. The time around the winter solstice is the marker point for many of the worldwide festivals. It is the midst of winter, and on the longest night of the year, we celebrate the return of the sun. Solstice traditions often revolve around lighting fires and candles or baking stars and sun-shaped food. During the barren days of winter, life was hard for our ancestors that completely relied on Mother Nature providing during the summertime, and they had to live off gathered provisions that were quickly running low over the course of nature's recovery period. It was a scary and dark time, spent in cold houses. The return of the light was very much awaited, and people not yet understanding that the spinning of the wheel occurred naturally, came up with all sorts of rituals that should help the sun to return and fertile life to come back. One fruit I very much associate with the sun is the orange. Not only does it need a lot of warmth and sunlight to grow, if you cut it open, the many-axed wheel also looks like a little sun. So I do very much love dried orange slices as natural decor, either in the tree, a wreath, put on a bowl, or strung as a natural garland and hung into the windows. But why are oranges or tangerines so much associated with this time of year? The scent just is Christmassy, and they are even part of the traditional gift Saint Nick brings to the children in many northern and eastern European countries. Well, that is simply explained by more recent history. During colonial times, sweet oranges were imported to Europe from foreign parts of the world and of course from Valencia, Spain. Typically harvested in autumn and winter, they arrived with the traders around Advent time further north. Of course, they were incredibly pricey and very special, which made them a treasured gift. And while now they are readily available in the supermarkets all year round, they haven't lost their connection with the holiday period. Of course, if we dabble in modern-day witchcraft or cottage witchery, we can also use oranges for their commonly associated properties. They are said to aid friendship, bring love and spark joy and happiness. And personally, if I look to the window decorated with these bright citrus wheels shining against the greyness of many winter days, it definitely helps to put me in a better mood. A curtain of sun energy that also smells absolutely delightful. You can find more about the historical use of oranges and some fun modern witchy adaptations in videos from my 21 Days Till Yule playlist, a witchy advent calendar here on YouTube that is bound to get you in the high spirits and wholesome holiday cheer, linked up above and down below. Additionally, I like to pair the orange slices symbolizing the sun with warming spices to draw in love, passion, luck and abundance. Another very symbolic item for the season is of course straw, and this might mainly be true in European cultures that still uphold the old symbolism, traditions and decor. Almost every country has some sort of winter solstice tradition surrounding straw, and all tie back to old beliefs around offerings to the fertility and field gods, or hope for an abundant harvest in the next year. Of course, with Christianization, a lot of them were reinterpreted, with Jesus laying on straw in a manger. But straw is not once mentioned in the Bible in this context, and the old meaning is still very much apparent when we look into the accompanying traditions and rituals. Through all of Europe, the custom of putting straw down on the floor around the tree or under a tablecloth is part of the Advent or Holy Night celebration. What we in Germany know as Heiligabendstraw is the Yule halmen in Norway, the Shanko Vigeline in Poland, and also the Serbs bring in straw, sprinkle it with walnuts to call in abundance for the new year. Depending on region, the straw had different special powers prescribed. Sleeping on it would grant you prophetic dreams about the new year. Putting it on the fields after the holidays was supposed to grant a big harvest. Feeding it to sick cattle was believed to have healing abilities, and it was even used for all sorts of oracles around fertility for the new year. In Lithuania, everyone would reach under the tablecloth where the straw was put and draw one. For an unmarried person, a short fat straw predicted a short fat spouse. A long thin straw, a short one of attracting a tall thin partner, and married people interpreted the same signs in a different fashion. The long thin straw meant a year of hardship, while a fat straw indicated abundance. And in Poland, girls could predict their marital fortunes by reaching under the tablecloth, drawing out the straw. Those who'd pick a green straw would be sure to marry soon, while those who selected a withered straw would continue to wait. Yellow straw meant a life without marriage, and short straw indicated an early death. You might also be familiar with the figure of the Yule goat, artfully braided from straw in the Scandinavian and Baltic countries. A leftover from pagan beliefs and a nod to the god Thor, and symbolism for the returning fertility of the fields. There are different rituals and customs around the Yule goat, many of them including to burn it. Where I live, we also find straw on our Christmas tree. Since the 19th century, little stars are made as rustic and symbolic decor. These also make for very cute and inexpensive Christmas or Yule presents, which incidentally matches the topic of my next video, where I will share some witchy inspiration for meaningful, low-cost gift giving. And keep your eyes out for that one, as I will also be announcing a truly magical Yule surprise for you. If you're not subscribed yet, consider doing so that you don't miss out. If you are German, you know of course what the Adventskranz is, and like many German Christmas traditions, that one has too swept over other parts of the world. The Advent wreath is a fairly new tradition, developed only in the 1840s by a German educator and theologist to celebrate the Advent season, so the 4 weeks prior to Christmas. Some Advent wreaths use 24 candles, other only 4, to mark the Sunday of each Advent week. And it is a wonderful way to underline the meaning of the winter solstice, helping us through the dark time in hope for the sun to return. 1 more candle is lit every day or every week, helping the light grow until on the solstice it returns to power and the scale tips. The days slowly grow longer again and winter retreats. Or from a Christian context, you are lighting 1 more candle until on Christmas the light of the world is born. If you, like me, are from the Bavarian forest region, you might be familiar with the original tradition that the Advent wreath was likely derived from. One that predates the use of Christmas trees and probably was practiced way back as part of local folk belief and spirituality. I'm talking of course about the Austro-Bavarian Paradeisel, rich in pagan symbolism and in its idea the same as the Advent wreath. Paradeiser in the Bavarian or Austrian dialect referred to especially red apples, or the apples of paradise, which, depending on your belief, would be the apples in Hollis garden or the apples from the Tree of Wisdom. Anyway, the Paradeisel is a contraption made from 4 apples connected by 6 sticks of wood. These often will be beech or hazelwood that is intricately carved or painted. Additionally, the wood is also covered in evergreens, the symbol of lasting life and fertility. And each of the apples holds one candle. Typically, you will have 3 violet candles symbolizing nearing change, and 1 pink one symbolizing joy. The latter one is illuminated the Sunday before Christmas. The shape of the Paradisal looks a little bit like a pyramid or tree and might symbolize the tree of life. If you are familiar with Northern European traditions about the St. Lucia Day, another holiday that celebrates the return of light, you might also find it resembles the candle crown traditionally worn that day. Oftentimes, people place the Paradisal on a plate with nuts, apples, and cookies or traditional shaped bread. That, in their meaning, stand for nourishment, life, fertility, and abundance. A lovely folky tradition to mentally prepare for the tipping of the scale and the return of the light, and at the same time a wonderfully magical and natural decor for any table or Yule altar. I hope you enjoyed this little inspiration for Yule and Christmas craft. If you end up making one, please tag me on Instagram, as I always love to see your pieces of art, bakes or other magical creations. I'm wishing you a slow, restful and joyous time of introspection and coziness. Till next week!